About 1,006 years ago, I learned the traditional old-fashioned spoon bend that required a table. You had to be on the table, and I'll show you that in just a second. And it was fine. It's a classic beginner's trick. And actually learning how to bend a spoon, even without Uri or Uri Geller in the world and that whole mythic thing, knowing how to bend a spoon, I think is a cool thing. I mean, because restaurants, bars, sanatoriums, wherever you are, you're bound to find a spoon. However, be careful because you want to make sure they're sturdy spoons. I've done this before, and then it's nothing like doing that, quickly doing a spoon bend, and then the spectator picks up their spoon and bends it as well. It's sort of lackluster. It's like, I'm going to read your mind, you're thinking of Three Diamonds, and they go, oh yeah, well, I remember that, I'm reading your mind, I remember your first date with Lucille, and you break out into a cold sweat. They one-up you. You don't want that. So, yeah, the original spoon bend was cool, and I'll show it to you in a second. It's okay, but it's kind of difficult on angles, and I really wanted to create something that had a flow to it. Where I like to do this, where we like to do this, is as a throwaway. It's one of these things. So I'm at a table, I pick it up off the table, and I'll either say, you know, I either will talk about, I say, hey, how you guys doing? My name is Jay, and you're actually my first table, or you're my third table, or you're my 107th table tonight, and I gotta make sure I'm strong, so let me work out a bit, and I'll do the spoon bend as if it's like, I'll do it really slowly, as a spoon bend as if I'm working out my muscles. First, let's look at the traditional standard spoon bend. The way it's supposed to look is where you grab the spoon, okay, and they see it there. And then you push down on the table, and as you push down, it looks like you totally flatten it, of course, and then you pick it up and you spin it forward and it's straight. Now, it's a nice little illusion, but it is a bit heavy-handed, excuse the pun, because you got this whole, I mean, this grip seems a bit over the top for me. And what you're doing is this, okay? Here's the side view. Is you're not grabbing it in your fist like that. What, in fact, you're doing is grabbing it with the pinky behind the fist, okay? So from the front, if you keep it moving, first you grab here, the pinky grabs the base, okay? You got that there and this on top. And obviously you don't just do this. And then people go, what is going on there? That is some, what is Salvador Dali illusion or something weird. You do this and this, okay? Apparently you've got it. But that's really what's going on, okay? And then when you press down, and you could go quickly, or you could go slowly and a little bit of a shake thing as if you're using all your might, okay? So, but notice how angly that is. It's, you know, unless pretty much anybody on what I call the Australian or Christian side is able to see those, first time those two terms have come together, to see that. So it's pretty angly, and then at the finish, you kind of just bring it up after bending it, you then kind of grab the front, and in the flurry of it, you kind of diffuse, and you're back to this. So that's the original, and it's kind of clumsy and kind of angly. So I was playing with this many, many years ago, and I realized what I wanted it to look like is I wanted it to look like I came over and bent the head of the spoon down, just boom. And I was actually playing with a cheap tin spoon, and I realized, wait a second, this natural position of the hand holding the neck, and this, I can do this, and it'll look exactly like I just bent the spoon the way it normally would look if you really bent it. But of course, I'm not bending it. What in fact I'm doing, using a very similar principle to the old-fashioned one, but much better on angles, is the exposed view is I'm bending it forward and it's bending up, okay? It's bending up behind the hand. Now, you really should practice this because you have to decide, do I want to come over and do the shaky, firm, kind of slow bend while I'm letting it, again, lever up just on the top, the index finger. Do I want to do this shaking, slow thing, or do I want to do a real kind of quick boom? Just boom, boom. What I like to do, you can do this, and then, the illusion of the spoon being briefly bent is perfect. But what I came up with, which I really like, is to kind of finish it by going the bend, then I immediately put it back, pivot it back up, and just to cover any, I do a corkscrew action while pushing it out the hand. When you're doing magic with something people eat with, okay, obviously it's a whole other category. It raises the very important question of hygiene. I mean, it's one thing to say, hey, it was a great trick and now I've got a cold thanks to you. So, out of respect, I think this is really important because too many magicians don't show enough respect for people. They kind of blow into the space, blow out. And I used to do this all the time when I worked as a regular house magician at a bunch of places here in Toronto area. And that is, once you're done your ring and spoon, or your spoon bend, or any of these kinds of things, it's always a good idea to say, thank you so much. Here, let me get you a fresh spoon. Okay, and of course you go around the corner, and rather than your bare hands, you bring another one back like this, and wrap in a little napkin. People appreciate that. I think it's a good idea. What people never knew when I did it is I would just go around the corner, grab the same spoon, just wrap a paper napkin, give it back to them, like I give. Well, there you have it. Truly a next level spoon bend. Thank you so much for watching, as always, my friends. Really appreciate it. It's so exciting to produce this stuff and know that share it up online, you guys will be there, leaving all those comments. It's so cool to sort of be getting to know a whole bunch of you, because you leave comments so regularly, so I know this person, I know that person. Subscribe to the channel. Please, if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? You know you want to watch the next video, so subscribe to this channel. Oh, and my newsletter. Definitely want to mention, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter too. It's free. You'll find the link down below. Sometimes with product information, but almost always also with tips and perceptions on magic and how to perform better and how to practice and all these kinds of tips. So subscribe to the newsletter, and I think that's about it. We'll see you very, very soon. Sounds like a plane is coming. Could be the Luftwaffe, which I believe is German for pudding, which doesn't sound very menacing, and references to German and Luftwaffe won't be used on this particular YouTube channel.